The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Fields it right around the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. And the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, that's when we turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
To try again after the sack. Smith. The catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. Calling a gain of 6 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. To throw is Smith. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
Man coverage on the left side, so I really like the design of this play because they opened up the field and brought their tight end the other way on a crossing route. That's a lot of ground to cover if you're a defender. I've been there before, unable to stay with his man there.
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle.
Earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Extra point up and through by Myers, and it's now a 7-0 game. This fielded right at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Now here comes the Los Angeles offense and the man in charge of it in his 2nd season with the team, 14th overall in what's been an impressive career, Matthew Stafford. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Off the fake to Akers, here's Stafford. He's got his man downfield, it's Robinson. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, 26 yards. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game. I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he? I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The Rams coming in looking for win number 10 on the year. And they've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row. And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown Rams. Cooper Kupp, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Rams are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. We see this route all the time, but when it's well executed, it's a beauty. It feels like the fade takes forever to develop, like that ball is just hanging in the air. And the reason why is that the receiver is trying his best to work the defender inside and give himself space to fade away from him and catch the football. That's exactly what happened there. Extra point by Gale is up and good. And we're tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. To throw on 2nd and 10. Smith. He's got a man. Complete. It's a big play there for Seattle. 77 yards. I know it's tough to make tackles in the open field, but that one hurts because he got a little bit extra after the missed tackle.
Receivers are coached so well. They have to break at least one tackle after the catch. He did that on that play.
Smith, left side complete to Lockett. Only a yard in the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
A 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Got to get in there and knock another one away. I think maybe that Tucker rule being gone.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Rashad Penny, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 14-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's finished off by a Rashad Penny touchdown run. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their 2nd drive of the game. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
A very solid gain of 27.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a 1st down.
Off of play action, here's Stafford. Going up top for Kupp. Touchdown, Rams. Cooper Kupp, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Rams are an extra point away from evening this one up. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're holding it up at 14. Plain and simple there, just 2 plays. Pass resulting in the touchdown. Number 2. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Penny. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. This defense for the Rams, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Throwing on third down, Smith. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep, Brandon Powell. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. These two teams all tied after one. The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
He's put up numbers in this one by pushing the envelope a bit whenever he could with deeper throws. Well, let's play a little philosophy here. Some plays it works. Sometimes they're ready for you. And that time, they were on guard. Incomplete.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. They'll roll him out right. And incomplete. So he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Week 13 here in the NFL, first weekend of December. Playoff races definitely coming into focus now, and we got a couple of good ones in prime time. Tonight, national audience gets a look at the Colts for a 2nd straight weekend. This time they're at Dallas, 7:20 Central Time for that kick. And then Monday night, Saints and Bucks from Tampa. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Smith's throw caught here by Metcalf. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. Now Smith. And he finds Penny. And he's got room. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38. And I think that's a pretty good illustration of why they try to get the football into his hands out of the backfield. That was something else. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Smith. And his throw is incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game. It has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try to pick up another 1st down.
That is taken in by the tight end Fant. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 23 yards, the final tally. Smith. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. A big loss there of about 7 yards on first and goal, so now it's second down.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on first and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. Gino down to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Now Smith on third and goal. Eluding the pressure right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for him. These guys have been driving down the field. But defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
Myers' kick is good. And they take a 17-14 lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Jordan Brooks with it. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
Touchdown, Seahawks. Tyler Lockett, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Rams 14.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. This one fielded at the 5. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. You're
exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
He didn't like what he saw downfield, decided his best course of action was to take off and run. And that ended up being a gamble that did not pay off for him. Now they would have to gamble again if they want to keep this series going.
The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
But when you do call quarterback sneak, you don't mind if your quarterback's a little bit on the vertically challenged side, do you? Because he's just going to hide behind his big guys up front and be able to surge forward and pick up the first down.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And the Seahawks are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
But those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care.
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Throwing on 2nd and long. Smith. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining.
This drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He lets it fly from Lockett. And this is caught inside the 5. And with 1 second left, they get the timeout. And they'll have a chance to kick the field goal before intermission. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Myers' kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. Halftime over, no problem with us. We skip right to the 3rd quarter and continue this midseason contest. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. From the end zone, here comes Brandon Powell. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Rams offense ready to begin quarter number 3. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the 3rd quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, you know, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now Stafford. That'll be caught. It's Cup. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run, and that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
On first down, they'll stay with Akers on the ground. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Here's a run with Akers on 2nd down. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And good work there in open space. He's got this all the way down now to the 32. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
They'll run on first down with Akers. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5.
The Rams field goal. A 53-yard attempt.
Gay's kick is good, and that gets him back within 10. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room with intermission, and at least they were able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now the offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. The first play of the drive, lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Here's Smith. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. Here's Powell on the return. Following the punt return here, there's someone shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter play. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the fourth and final quarter. Throwing on third down, Stafford. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Excellent play there on third down. Give them 25 yards. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll go with Akers here up the middle. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 in second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
And some room to work. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. 55 rushing yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. On the counter, this is Akers. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They'll try the air now with Stafford. Man open is Robinson. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. That puts him in excellent position, 1st and goal after a gain of 19. Akers is into the end zone. Touchdown, LA. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks get them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Gay is on for the point after. And the lead is down to a field goal now. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was Cam Akers who capped it for the touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand-new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here, or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, but by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
And he stopped immediately there. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Pastor, you said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Now Smith. And he wisely will throw that one away. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on the punt for Seattle. On the return is Powell. 56 yards the punt that time, 12 on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. So now Stafford and the Rams down 27-24, just over a minute 40 to play. Now their 4-game winning streak in great danger. Now Stafford. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now it's Stafford. Steps away. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Stafford. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in a row, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Stafford completes it to Robinson. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as a tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 40. They give up the middle to Akers. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 2nd down, they'll go with Akers again. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. They'll go again here with Akers. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. Very much in range for a tying field goal as they hurry to the line. On the handoff, it's Akers. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Stafford now to throw. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. He'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen here to Akers. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And his kick is right there. It's good. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. For a better game thus far. 27 apiece is our score as the kick's away. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play now.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So it's the Rams who are going to get the football first as we are back underway here in overtime. And they will play it safe here and bring this one out to the 25. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
And this will be a Seahawks first down as he's able to get this up to the 37-yard line.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
On the stop was Aaron Donald. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing now is Geno. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Rams are going to take possession of the football. What a big-time interception that is here on the first drive of overtime. And now, Charles, they're already knocking on the door with a short field. Remember, all they need is 3 points to win this game.
And that thinking just can't limit them on offense. The playbook should still be wide open. Get a first down, maybe 2. Do it safely. Nice throws that your quarterback can make. Nice runs that your running backs like. But make sure you get yourself in position and let your kicker have at it.
They'll run out of the gun with Akers. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. 2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all time.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable second down.
And he'll go down at the 28. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Going right back to Akers. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. First down now, but that clock rolling. On the give, this is Akers. And he's brought down. 126 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. We need an extra time to decide this one. The rushing score and OT finishes it off, but all throughout, really just a great game to witness.
I agree, and the whole time we were watching and working on this game, I had it in the back of my head. We could get to overtime, just the way this game went, the ebb and flow of it all, and then to get there and finish it what I would call an old school way, a running play, because in today's NFL, we throw the ball and ring the bell.